Alright, are you guys ready for the 10 final slices? The third part of the third part. Ah, yeah, I hope you guys like the cake, cause there's a lot of communities in here. I hope you feel appreciated, cause yeah, I had to visit a lot of places and learn a lot of things, and I'll keep doing that, and maybe there's communities that I did not discover yet, or have a lot of potential, and we'll never know until next year, am I right? Or you can just subscribe. Or you're just gonna. Your bus takes off at 1 minute and 42 seconds or whatever. That's where you have to leave, you know? Are you gonna be above average? Who do you think you are, dude? Anyways, kids content. Let's continue. So, Annoying Orange kind of represents kids content as well as Unspeakable. And I call it cringe comedy because it feels like they're trying to do comedy, but that's kind of like what all kids' content are trying to do. And for the sake of entertainment, you have to squeeze as much comedy into it as possible. Uh, if anything, uh, Annoying Orange is like a minigun of puns. Keep shooting those puns, basically. Uh, and it's kind of entertaining even for me. I mean, it made it to top 100, which is a fascinating achievement. So there's plenty of content to watch. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it still, has a typical value of a video. There's nothing that it's necessarily lacking. In fact, like Unspeakable could be considered a kid's version of Mr. Beast, but it's a little bit better because it's a channel that's active every single week. Mr. Beast is more like every 3 weeks almost. Yeah, they can produce more content. They don't take it themselves seriously, so they can do whatever they want, pretty much. That's the cool part, is the freedom part that you get to appreciate. Uh, Although it is a little bit annoying to know that they're kind of focusing on kids more, because they have to know their audience after all. And I can't imagine people being drawn to this if they're older. I mean, why would they? But it's still pretty cool. It's a cool place to start, you know, when it comes to just watching content in general. And if you just don't care about meaning that much, but still, I was able to squeeze Mr. Orange and get myself a very weird, meaningful meme, despite him becoming naked and talking about him being able to peel himself off very easily. Because it's not easy. That's kind of the reason why I don't buy oranges. They're just very annoying to peel, which serves the name Annoying Orange. I mean, it's fantastic. Now I'm gonna pretend that that's how Annoying Orange got his name. And, like, at some point, somehow, some puns hit harder than others, and this was it, man. Was my revelation. The reason why I even give a fuck, you know? Stuff like that can happen at any moment because of how free the characters are. And these are reoccurring characters, like, kids need to attach to something, you know? So there's always going to be a reoccurring character in kids' content. Uh, but, I mean, everything has that. It's like a success, a way of success, but it's not going to be your typical, video essays trying to educate you or pretend that you're smart in some way and you need more knowledge or something. No, it's not going to take itself seriously. You don't have to worry about that. So, there's plenty of value. All right. Let's talk about chess. Why do I say it's traumatized me too? Because it looks like he's traumatized as well. And retired chess. He should have. Well, you're not allowed to retire chess completely when you're running the most successful chess channel on YouTube, and kind of just carried my interest into chess simply because now I get to watch experts kind of break down chess. Like, if you were given a skateboard, you wouldn't know what to do. You probably even wouldn't want to use it because it seems like a scary thing and it's very confusing. But when you get to watch experts play with a skateboard, that's pretty cool, actually. I did play some chess at school. I won a few games. It was just the most awkward bullshit ever. Because now looking now of how complicated chess really is, like, that is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I would love to look back into my attempts into playing chess, because, like, knowing how experts are obliterating the game and finding the weirdest moves imaginable sometimes, like, it's that's also traumatizing, to be honest. But the real traumatizing thing is that chess was the only thing one of those only things I had to do when I was in the hospital for 13 months. And yes, number 13 is very annoying because I literally dedicated that year to Taylor Swift and she likes number 13. So I guess I had to stay 13 months for a reason. No, I hate these kind of coincidences, but I can't look past them. It's so weird. Because it's almost like, the fire year was intended to destroy me in some kind of way, but also gave me a lot of value in return because after the hospital, now I get paid for no particular reason. It's kind of weird how life works. I just, like, if you think too hard about it, like, yeah, you can point a finger at me and say that I'm mentally ill or something. But that's what government thinks. That's not what I think. But let's not talk about that. Well, that's where I got the inspiration to check what chess really looks like. Because there was a dude in the hospital that was kind of pretty smart and knew chess better than I did. And there was another dude that knew chess even better than that guy and always beating that guy, but that guy always beating me. And it just was so frustrating, dude. How do you guys know chess so well? Stop it. It's a shitty game anyways. But because of how many moves and possibilities it has, and the fact that it's always stays the same, and it's not that difficult to pick it up, but mastering it is completely next level. And actually requires a lot of dedication. I would rather play card games because they seem a lot more interesting and random, and they tell more interesting stories than chess. Chess is just very bland and not rewarding as well. Like, in the end, after you master chess, do you live a better life? Do you activate more dragons? I don't think so, dude. Chess is kind of boring. It has lack of concepts, but the depth that you can achieve with such simple rules, I admire that, and I admire even more when I know that the experts can push it to even higher limits, to actually even make an entire channel that uploads every single day about chess. What is better than that? All right. The fact that it's possible, that means that chess has what it takes, to be quite interesting as a concept. I just would never play it because I don't want to induce anxiety to myself as well, as the meme suggests. Maybe it has some, once it has interesting rules, but even then it's, uh, I don't know what it will take, but I like RPGs. I like when things improve, not necessarily things that require skill. You know, I want to invest into the game, and the game has to improve alongside with me getting more skills. That's the best combination, I think, and what is missing in chess, because chess will always stay the same. AI, guys. You guys like the surgeons of AI? It's not resurgence. It never spiked that much. We could even look into the trend data, because it's very scary, actually. Ignore this. I don't think that makes any sense of why there's a spike. I couldn't figure out why. Technically, you don't see some kind of resurgence or a spike in the end. But let's try again. And we would have to zoom in, but it's too complicated. So you don't see much big of a difference, but there is a difference between a 3 on average and then a 5. Alright, so it doubles in interest, which is not something a lot of things can do these days, alright? Double in interest, and be as important as Taylor Swift sometimes now. Excuse me? Technically, AI is a small niche community, but with tremendous potential to rule the world. So you must be a part of this community, or you're gonna miss out on the cutting edge technology that you just have to be aware of. You don't have to learn everything about it. You just have to be aware that it exists, and have a tab handy, whenever you want to talk to AI and see how stupid it is, basically, at the moment. And oh, session has expired. Thank you, dude. Stupid AI. I know one session that did not expire. Thank God our session didn't expire. Why do you say that you missed me? So far, the best thing AI can do, apparently can write songs now, so that's cool. And it can do that in seconds and generate all kinds of random garbage. And the other thing that AI does very well is make me laugh. So, once you dig deeper into the rabbit hole, you can get some funny outcomes. Yeah, the GPT takes itself very seriously, so it cannot actually make jokes. But the chat AI bot that I use definitely created some cool comedy things. I can't remember them anymore, but I'll definitely try and capture that now that I collect pretty much everything anyways. Obviously, I can't wait for porn to be generated as well. We're probably gonna start with hentai. That seems easy. That seems like something useful. But yeah, like even just being able to request AI to do something and it kind of does that thing, like that's kind of mind-blowing. But eventually I'm kind of realizing my definition of AI is just like it's going to become a dream world. You don't want AI to have too much power in the end. It could just take over the internet after all. But you could allow AI to do something in the background while we sleep, while our avatars sleep, I don't know. It's so confusing. The most interesting part about AI is just thinking about AI and all the possibilities, because you definitely cannot wrap your head around that thing. And you bet I'll be making more videos trying and failing miserably to understand AI. No problem there, guys. It's endless. I can make endless attempts, and I'm not sure how close I'm gonna get. Uh, Also, yes, AI has inspired John Oliver to kiss a goddamn cabbage and call it a marriage. And honestly, it's better than these two, I would imagine. Cosplays, boys. So, I talked about the mysterious girl that I have a crush on now because she looks gorgeous and did that magical thing where her personality actually aligns with her choice of cosplay. Perfect. But and I just I like the cosplay itself. Okay, like everything just aligned perfectly, and I tried to do my research and I failed because she doesn't have social media presence. And these people, these gorgeous creatures, they have to be dragged into the light of the internet by force. We have no choice, guys. We have no choice. You might be interested in different kind of people, but for me, it's kind of cool. Like if girls are so inspired to do cosplaying, if that's another form of self-expression that they can do, besides uh, singing and dancing, that sort of stuff, or uploading hot pictures on Instagram. No, sometimes cosplay is all you get. So, I didn't expect that to happen. I thought she was like a prominent cosplayer, and I'm gonna get more. But I got just a little bit more, and now I'm frustrated because didn't get enough, man. Uh, I wanted to become a follower, man. For for the rest of my life, and I couldn't do that, which is what normally happens. And now I'm teased to the highest extreme. What do I do now? Now I have to put it on YouTube Rewind simply because of how destroyed I feel. Yeah. But now I just can only hope, well, this somehow will be resolved. But also, again, it tells a whole nother story about what cosplays are supposed to be about. It is, in fact, supposed to be, an extension of yourself, a self-expression of characters that you really care about, or that, well, lets you put yourself into the real world where a bunch of strangers get to look at you, basically, and be interested at you. That also could be the case. And, you don't have to look like super sexy. You can look cute now, and you can look recognizable simply because you're playing a different character. So people can attach to you and slowly realize, like I did, over like, what? This is old picture, by the way. This is old. I'm not sure how old it is. We could check it out right now, actually. I have Emily as my tab. One click away. No problem, guys. I'm that guy. It is 7 years ago. So, yeah, it takes a long time. I mean, I just discovered K-pop and I added the sugar-free. The sugar-free is like 9 years old now. And it's not the oldest song that that K-pop group has. So, it's just weird. It's just weird how old content can resurface at any moment. So, it also keeps me motivated. But, yeah, it teaches you why stacking works and all that stuff. But, yeah, we have to go back and just retell the story. Like, you're not supposed to waste too much time doing a cosplay. Pick up something simple that anyone can do technically. Yes, everyone wants to be impressive, but the moment you start wasting time on just making cosplays, now you're in a competition area. You're not just doing this for fun or because you like it. Now you're just trying to make it your career, and it's quite cringe. I mean, it's almost like that's why we're having inflation because there's a lot of people trying to be influencers these days. God damn it, guys! Please stop. Go back to factories. I don't like you here. But because it's not just them, influencers also paralyze other people from doing work. So it's a mass hysteria, man. And again, cosplay is one of those art forms that you could waste a lot of time and money doing it, and I don't know if it's gonna repay you, especially if your face looks ugly. Like, damn, man, that's a downfall right there. You might just fail miserably anyway, no matter how hard you try in the end. But again, if that's the only thing you have and it gives you fun, you gotta make the smart choices here. And I'm technically just talking to girls here, so of course I'm gonna talk about cosplay a lot. Uh, yeah, guys, please send me messages that you appreciate me talking about cosplay. Very nice. No, both genders care about this because we get entertained as men, and women get to entertain themselves by, instead of putting on makeup all the time, they can look beautiful in a completely different way, which is very fascinating and very playful and very cute. All right. And there's so much you can do with this stuff. All right. The world of cosplay is pretty big, and I'm sure more people should be excited to explore it, or just look up the cool pictures that people have made of themselves. And I'm sure I just tipped my toes. You know, I don't even know what kind of cosplays I would like to explore. And there's a lot, man. There's a lot of influencers trying this stuff, and it's becoming more and more trendy almost. So you can't sleep on this shit. Anyways, what kind of content Asmongold makes? My type of content, and it actually does not have a label or a community, but it's so promising that you can't sleep on that shit either. All right, I know 99% of people has clicked away already, and I'm talking to a wall. But this, guys, is called gold mining. So, no, not gold digging. We're talking about kind of a Minecraft term here in terms of watching YouTube videos that are somewhat educational. Someone trying to be smart. I'm trying to be smart all the time. I'm trying to educate myself first and foremost, and if it educates a single person, or a dog, or an animal, or a creature of any kind, I'll take it, man. I'll take your gold. I'll take your piece of gold that you get to mine. So while I'm doing gold mining myself, at the same time I'm showing the process and telling you guys how to find perfect locations and all that stuff, what to think about, you know? That's what gold mining is. It's an intense thinking, or you reacting to something and you need to put a lot of commentary on top of that to make it your own spin, basically. That's what Asmongold is doing. Just sits there, interacts with the audience, reacts to smart ass videos, keeps collecting knowledge, keeps leveling up his real life character. Stop it. I'll attack, man. I'll do damage, dude. You keep doing that, I'll do damage. No problem. Because he's also missing teeth already, so just like me. Very nice. I can definitely relate. We both look ugly. We both have missing teeth. We're both as lazy as fuck. I'm a little bit smarter than he is, so I don't like him anymore. And I can't relate to him anymore, actually. Despite how relatable this feels. And he also doesn't play Hearthstone, but he still plays a Blizzard game, so there's plenty of similarities of why I shouldn't bother trying to outcompete him and instead, be as best friends as we possibly can be. Because there's not a lot of gold mining going on, but you can consider podcasts also in the same area because that's what they're meant to be for. Some podcasts introduce different guests, but the podcasts that don't technically are just pure gold mining. Like, what else? Like, they have to just talk about a topic for 1 hour on average. And why would that make sense? Well, it has to have something valuable in the end or at some point. And it's tons of content that you don't really have to think about too much until it does make you think over time. All right, it just sits there and it's an idea generator, and it's the way to get to know a person and their interests. Sure, as well as everything works that way. It's not a big deal. All content works that way, but yeah, the most important part is to make you think, make you appreciate opinions to begin with, and problem solving, and exploring, and doing actual. You feel like a process, a part of the process where another person is doing research of some kind. So that's cool. I can't talk too much about it, but literally my content is gold mining. Maybe even like an advanced form. Maybe I'm the leader of gold mining. Maybe I found my perfect community that I belong into. Except this community is just very, well, quite small, I would imagine. Not everyone is excited about 1 and 2 hour videos these days. Which is why I'm not getting a lot of subscribers, or views, or watch time, or anything whatsoever. YouTube is like, what are you doing, dude? Oh, nobody cares. Okay, shut the fuck up. So, yeah, it's very easy to ignore me and put me in quite a lot of emotional damage. Because my work is like quite hard, and I have to do consistently. Yes, I get to be lazy and all that stuff, but that's just something that stupid people gonna attach to and show how stupid they are if they just point a finger at me and say I'm lazy. Yeah, okay, dude. Okay. I'm sure you're not lazy, and you can do gold mining too, better than I do, and make shorter videos about it. And you're gonna give me credit for that too. Because you will. You will, dude. Again, gold mining is a long process. Some people just like throwing gold and selling gold. For me, I just, I care about the process itself. That's what I care about. And that's just a completely different community and a different job on the internet. Alright? And very much needs to be appreciated. Not a lot of people are doing this stuff. Asmongold is the only person who made it to top 100, but now we're dealing with a cramming well, technically, Nikilimo also is a part of top 100, so it's not as small of a community as you would imagine, in terms of influence at least. Interviews, boys. This one is a weird one, because now we're like, wait, you're just talking about types of content. Interviews is not a community. Nobody's excited about interviews, but are you sure about that? Because it definitely seems like a type of content, and once you get deeper into it and become an expert, maybe you'll find a completely next level of value. And it seems like Anthony Padilla is trying to become the expert of this thing, whatever this thing is, and it's different than anything else. It definitely stands out as a new concept, And whenever there is a concept, there's always people around that concept that you can also call community. So it's not that complicated. Plenty of people are doing interviews, as I've said. Some podcasts are disguised as interviews, rather. They can still be called podcasts, but they're really just interviews. And when someone as popular as Anthony is doing it, they kind of know how to do it. They know what to ask. They have been interviewed plenty of times themselves, like they know how to squeeze value, so I definitely respect him. And I don't think there's much else for representing interviews on my list. But I still think it's quite fascinating because it introduces, popular people and asks, important questions. And like a lot of celebrities go into interviews all the time as if they're that important. I don't really watch their interviews that much unless I'm very much into them. So whatever they say, I need to break down their personalities, need to get deeper and deeper into their psychology in case maybe they can have traps too, bad intentions or whatever. You never know. So exposing people's intentions and how they think and how they handle questions, all that stuff is pretty cool to me. Just even being able to spend time with celebrities sounds like a crazy thing. But, like Anthony is actually stretching the limitations and actually inviting just like interesting people with interesting beliefs or jobs, or just lives in general, I guess. And he calls it spending the day with. Although I am confused why he never really interviewed Smoshcast or Ian himself. That would be interesting thing to watch, I would imagine. So that's why I made the meme. And it works very well. It made me laugh quite hard, guys. Yeah, I don't think it's too deep right now, but it can get pretty deep. This concept can be improved even further. Alright? The way it is, because technically an interview doesn't have to drag a person into a special place and then start asking questions. You can just make Q&As and or conduct a Q&A, collect the best of the best questions, make a proper spin as an expert interviewer, and present, the celebrity or the influencer or whatever interesting person you're interviewing with those special questions and see how they react to it. And I would be able to react to those answers and tell my opinion. Or it doesn't have to be a live thing. Like, you don't have to put people on the spot and put a lot of pressure on them, because what you're gonna squeeze are just like half-assed answers anyways. They're not gonna care that much, even though they kind of have to, which is like very funny. Yeah, very funny. Because celebrities can't care all the time and be prepared 100% for every interview they go to. I know they would like to, and that's kind of what makes it entertaining, but it also makes it very cringe because that's not what they're known for. They're known for making high-quality content most of the time. So seeing them unprepared is a little bit annoying. That's not what I want to see, man. So this stuff can be improved that way, I would imagine. Or even just testing the morality of celebrities in weird ways. Anything is maybe I'm even doing injustice calling these interviews. You can also imagine Jimmy Fallon, and all the other night show host or whatever, also fall into that same category. Obviously, yeah. But that also would include playing games with celebrities. That's just like a part of the interview somehow. And now you can see how broad this thing is. And yeah, now that I mentioned Jimmy, now I'm like, yeah, he also very much expanded the definition quite a bit. And this is a huge community now. This, oh shit. So, whoops. Sorry guys for telling you lies and telling that this was a small community for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, TikTok. I don't know what it is, but I do watch it when I eat food because it's very comfortable that way. But I try not to spend too much time there. It's a cool place. For most people, it's absolutely mental illness inducing nonsense because. Oh, wait. Simply because, like, they don't know how to use TikTok. They don't know how to extract value from the internet, so all they're gonna get is just half-assed videos that the algorithm thinks that you will like. But you hate yourself, so you give yourself crap all the time. And that's just gonna perpetuate mental illness. Alright? Whatever you think you like, I think otherwise, dude. So, I get value out of TikTok, but I know other people are not gonna get the same treatment. Alright? And there's no choice. There's no reset button either. You're gonna get what you gonna get, basically. Or whatever you follow. Maybe there is an escape over time, but that's like the dark side of TikTok is that you don't get to decide what to watch in this case. You don't get to master the search feature or whatever. None of those things. You're gonna be a clueless consumer, and that's what makes TikTok quite scary. However, as I've said, I get the good videos, so it's possible, and you should try and work this out to get to the good side of TikTok, or find value in the videos that you do get. But a lot of people just consume mindless memes or other nasty nonsense. I can't even imagine what you guys get to experience. So, you can share that experience. I guess I will care. I will always compile in the end of the month what TikTok videos I like, or at least that's the plan. So you get the idea, what I get. You obviously cannot sleep on this. Is the current generation, current first generation. YouTube is the second generation. I talk about it often enough, but you gotta remember this part. All right, just because YouTube is no longer the current generation, the current new thing, doesn't mean that it's less influential. It's actually even more influential. And we might even want to pick people from TikTok who are doing very well and put them into the YouTube ecosystem and then ask them to perform here. We can just buy TikTokers. YouTube is a much more richer place and is willing to invest more money into influencers they have. So I'm sure a lot of people would just accept the offer often enough. So for us, from my perspective, TikTok is just a place to grab some influencers and give them a new purpose, and new tools technically. Because they also would have been encouraged to have a Discord server, all kinds of things. You can just stick with TikTok and stick with one meme that went viral and now keep doing that one meme. And that's your entire identity. Obviously, people like that are not interesting, so I wouldn't pick them. But anything's possible, so I don't know. I'm just talking about possibilities here. And yeah, again, anything can happen. TikTok can just fail, be outcompeted, but so is YouTube. You know. But as history tells us, usually things kind of stay intact. At least definitions stay intact. So we're always going to have this video sharing platform, and it's always going to have a weird algorithm or something like that. So definitions stay intact. But anything can happen. And TikTok is technically like a very, very big community. You can say that. But is it influential? Not really. The other downfall of TikTok is that there's so many people in TikTok, and the content gets so random that nobody really gets to stand out and have a face, a reoccurring face. Again, you can have a reoccurring meme. I see that all the time. But a reoccurring face that does different things, I've never seen that before, dude. That's not a thing, man. That's not even a thing on YouTube either. Despite how much Mr. Beast is trying to do different things, there's always a theme going on. But TikTok is a lot worse with that. Alright? Because it gives like fake amount of success to motivate you to make pretty much the same exact video. And I've even seen a creator just kind of break down and just kind of give up, or like, oh, you just guys want me to do this specific type of content, and I don't want to do that. And his views plummet even further or whatever. But I enjoy honesty a lot more. TikTok does not enjoy it, I would imagine, but it's a very interesting place as well. There's definitely a lot of things to explore. And TikTok community must be, a part of YouTube as well, simply so there's a door for people to join YouTube community instead of this nonsense. So we have to know what it's all about, but not treat it as, as a competitor. It's a completely different thing. Alright? Alright. Tech boys. I just found the stupidest word, because he always says, a sub to the channel would be, that. Good luck with that one. Two tech channels, there's iJustine and Mr. Who's the Boss, which got this meme. iJustine meme is a little bit tragic, I would say, but I had to do it. That was the highlight, apparently. The highlight, I don't know, man. The low light, man. But, yeah, I only follow iJustine not because she likes iPhones or whatever. No, she looks hot, okay, and wears bikinis, okay. Those are the qualifications, usually, for a woman to appear on my list. Not that difficult. Obviously, they also have to be an influencer doing some kind of content that I would be inclined to watch, but wouldn't necessarily enjoy too much. Tech is a weird thing, because tech always tries new things and tries to sell you something that in the end we realize it's not that useful, or it gets replaced with something a lot better. I have a very old computer now, like 5 years old or something, at very least. 5 years old? I don't think it's 5. Maybe it's even 10. It's old, guys. And I have an old tablet now. I'm not sure how old. I don't even care. Alright? I just care that it works. That the software works. I don't care about technology. It's pretty expensive to try and upgrade technology, and usually the only thing you're upgrading is a goddamn camera, dude. Fucking camera. Do you need that? In fact, the greatest meme of all time could have been me showing you guys when this guy highlighted like 14 generations of a specific phone, and he's like, oh, the camera is getting a little bit better, but I look into the difference between camera from the generation 1 and camera from generation 14, and it's like there's barely any difference. It's like I don't see anything, dude. It just blew my mind. It almost like even looked a little bit better on generation 1. Obviously didn't have the resolution for it, but it's like, what is... It's not even better, dude. It's not even that better. It's pointless. Yes, you have to make them upgrades, but getting addicted to that, and no, I don't appreciate that at all. What I do appreciate is the struggle of making tech-related content often enough, because this guy has to dig. He has to dig, man, for some weird shit that tech has to offer. Damn. But yeah, you can definitely turn it into a channel. It has quirks. You have to know what you're doing. You have to become an expert. There's a lot of things to learn. I mean, seeing the difference between the latest 2 iPhones. I mean, that's quite a challenge these days. After all, that's the meme right now. But again, eventually tech is just too expensive for ordinary people to care. Just buy your phone. The moment it breaks down, you start thinking about buying a better one. But until that happens, you just gotta enjoy with what you have, because it's the software that matters a lot more than hardware. Unfortunately, yes, hardware could shave off a few seconds here and there of like loading time or something, but it's not gonna improve your quality of, you know, applications that you use. Like, that's not gonna happen. So yeah, specifically, tech channels usually focus on phones right now because that's the cutting edge stuff. But obviously, if you expand a little bit, you include like gaming consoles, which I have never bought one. I had to buy one as a kid because that's the only cutting edge technology that we had back in the day, before even computers were affordable and made sense. We had gaming consoles. But besides that, like... okay, my microphone still works. Yeah, that's good. I need to watch a tech video about that. No, it's kind of pointless. It's not that entertaining to watch tech videos by any means. Unless it's about software sometimes. Software is pretty cool, like knowing shortcuts, knowing cool websites to visit. That sort of stuff is a lot more exciting, because those are actual recommendations that you can do immediately for free. You know, when you get tech recommended, you have to scratch your head if you really need it, because you might just lose that money, because it could just simply be a scam in the end. Obviously, trusted channels can't afford running scams and losing their entire channels due to a meltdown of drama. But you shouldn't be obsessed about that. You should keep your eye out if there's something cool that happens that you might want to own. Obviously, that's awesome. If you can make a proper investment, you can keep an eye out, and it is pretty entertaining. But nothing special, okay? Obviously, we're going to talk about racism. Not, we can call it diversity. All right. I also call it people who don't belong, but they still made it for some reason. All right. Yes. Uh, it's weird, but as I've said in the part 2, Nicki Minaj is capable of producing value that I cannot see any other woman doing right now. So, no one is wearing colors on their legs, okay? Nobody. You won't see none of that shit. Alright? If you say, oh, but there's 1% of photos where, shut the fuck up, man. 1% is too hard for me to care about. Obviously I care, like, the rarity, the awesomeness of finding, people wearing white, girls wearing a white. Oh wow, that's so sweet. But Nicki Minaj just dials it up to infinity, to the max, dude. Full rainbow colors, man. And has made it. Kind of because of that. Obviously, some of her music is cool. But she also highlights, I don't care how diverse you are. I don't care how many dicks you sucked as a guy. It's not gonna be influential to me, unfortunately. Yes, it's quirky and cool to be gay or whatever. The funniest thing I'm gonna reveal you guys the future meme that I'm gonna be posting. Isn't it weird that there's like 3 times more virgins in this new decade? And 2 times more LGBTQ bullshit people. Isn't that weird? Doesn't that seem like a contradiction? People having less sex, but have more information about their sexualities? That sounds pretty weird to me, man. Anyways, no, it just seems like the system is failing in a different way now. We just have different type of war going on, which is a paralysis war or something. We have to call it as a war. We can't just sit dormant and rot in our fucking homes while the heat is being turned on and, well, inflation is happening all over. Should have been the theme of my, instead of calling it sugar-free, we should just call it inflation. Because now we have to watch a 20-minute rewind, not just a 6-minute rewind, as we normally watch. Inflation, guys. But why would I call that? Anyway, so going back to diversity, I would love to have diversity, but you have to have value. If you don't have value and common sense, most importantly, you're not gonna make it. I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. And you can call it racism as much as you want, dude. I'll just say, get a life, man. Get a life. You're very influential. I very much care about your opinion. Now you can shut the fuck up and get a life. Because if you don't, I'm gonna mute you and move on with my life. I don't care. If you're not influential, who cares? I don't care if you look like a clown and identify yourself as a clown. Nobody likes clowns these days. Clowns are not viral. Alright? I don't care if you're protected by minority and the government itself. That's not going to make you more influential either. Because you're protected? Oh, wow. That definitely automatically turns you into a celebrity status, actually. You know what kind of people are protected? Crippled people as well are very much protected. Because they have to be. You have to collect those pity points for being, well, disabled and unable to live an awesome life as everyone else. You have to struggle all the time. So they get pity points. So I would imagine these LGBTQ communities also just are pity collectors, alright? Or pity givers, or whatever that shit is. Makes you feel good in the end, because you feel like you're doing charity work. But for me, from my perspective, as I'm collecting the most influential people the platform has to offer, I just found one. And I still feel that's a lot of diversity, dude. That is overwhelming amount of diversity because you've seen how many communities we have. And I can't put Nicki Minaj anywhere else but here. Give her her own category, and now she's a proud owner of that title, I would imagine. God damn it, dude. I feel good about myself too now. Beating up all these losers. Leftist, man. I eat leftist for days. They're very tasty. And I still don't call myself the right. Just because I declare war on everyone. All nonsense and no common sense people. I mean, you must understand, yes, leftists feel very good about themselves because they literally have all the popular people defending them. To some extent, you know. But you must always feel the threat that if you stand out as a leftist, however, you get knocked out very easily. That's why you get pity points, because you're a loser, alright? You're a loser. You get participation trophies and all that stuff. And celebrities like giving that, because that's very easy to give, and you get a lot of, respect for that. That's the art of being nice to people, You only are nice to losers who feel very bad about themselves, and you're like, oh my god, celebrity, come here and save me from feeling bad. That's what's happening, guys. Alright? And I love it that I was able to break it down. Thanks, Nikki. You will never leave top 100. I promise you guys. Now that she's here. I'm in love, dude. Not the way that I feel about the four guys, but I'm impressed. I'm very happy. All right. Yeah, I shouldn't probably say I'm in love, but I have a crush. Let's put it that way. I have a crush, guys. And finally, the magic community. Cool, am I right? There's actually 3 tiers of magic. And it introduced from different influencers, but Penn and Teller is the only magic place where all the magicians come from all of the world, so it has all of the content. Everything else is just half-assed thing. Also, I don't like Scam School because they literally changed their name into something else. I literally have to type in Scam School to find out what it is, because I forgot already. Scam School is Scam Nation, because, you have to look trendy and cool these days. This is the greatest scam of all time. It feels really bad to me. Scam Nation, what is that? I could have never, in my mind's eye, just remember that name. I always remember it as Scam School. It has been for like 8 years. So in Scam School, you're learning like small little tricks that everyone can do. On Penn and Teller, however, things get turned up a whole way up, and you get to see the best of the best trying to do the best and most outrageous tricks just to make sure Penn and Teller are just completely fooled. And they get the trophy and get a lot of clout for that, It's quite an interesting show. I mean, quite an interesting concept in general. And the fact that there's so many magicians, apparently, and everyone from all over the world is coming to that place and doing their performance and then telling pretty much about the work that they have worked 2 years, maybe even more sometimes, on that one act, pretty much. Like, that's pretty crazy, but that's, reminiscent to my YouTube Rewind. Obviously, they don't know just one trick once a year. They're learning a lot of different things, but in order to combine it into one special performance and to be able to perform it everywhere, that requires ridiculous amount of dedication. I don't know if I would encourage anyone to become a magician. That seems like a ridiculous thing to do. Because in the end, not only is just pure entertainment, well, technically it's quite crafty thing to do. Like trying to fool people is quite a phenomenon, I would say. Like people kind of like being fooled to some extent, but at some point it becomes just too frustrating and too annoying. The most annoying thing about Penn and Teller, obviously, is that it doesn't actually exist on YouTube. There's a bunch of magicians uploading their own tricks that they did on Penn and Teller, their own snippet of the the show. But you cannot watch the whole thing. I don't even know where you can watch the whole thing. I was a little bit confused. I don't think I can watch it from my country. It's like, none of this makes sense. I know you guys are smart with magic, but like, what does that mean? Just upload it on YouTube and get your bag. I don't know, man. Should be that simple. And also would encourage even more magicians to show up. Or something. I don't know. But they're probably gonna run that show like 10 more years, like, and we're gonna see even more faces of magic. Like, I don't know, dude. Now I'm scared. Why are there so many magicians, and why are there smart enough magicians to even fool the best magicians that literally created the show to be fooled, but it actually works, and they do get fooled? Like, my brain doesn't work. I don't understand anything that happens. So I'm gonna be fooled no matter what. A magician shows up in the show, I'm already fooled. How did you do that, man? How did you travel? How do you travel, guys? How do you hop into a plane and travel? I don't even know how to do that. For me, everything is magic, dude. So just sit here and comment on things on the internet. Because I don't believe in none of this shit, man. None of this is real. And Darren Brown actually puts it that into the next level as well. Because he's adding the mentalism, the psychology element. He's able to manipulate people, basically. Which now is like the Influence 1000. Learning from Darren Brown is probably something I have to do. Just to learn how to be even more influential than I currently am. But he's kind of like teaching psychology, but he's mixing that stuff with somewhat magic elements. It's so weird. It's such a mindfuck. I don't know, dude. You just watch some of his stuff, it's like, I guess I don't understand nothing anymore. How did you do that? It doesn't seem like a trick anymore. It seems like actual magic, which as if he's able to read minds or something. Like some bullshit like that at this point. I mean, I would watch Darren Brown explained for hours. If someone can actually explain how he does any of his tricks, man. With Penn and Teller, you can kind of understand what the hell is going on. Also, my Discord just crashed, but it's fine. It's part of my magic trick. Oh! That crashed too. Thank God, I guess. Very nice. What's that, Taylor? Death by 1,000 cuts? Not my preferred weapon of choice, but I guess emotional damage doesn't have any other way of damaging people, but you have to repeat the same thing 1,000 times. And then they die for some reason. Anyways. That's kind of it, but I do want to evaluate communities, but it seems like I ran out of time anyways. Well, and I ran out of patience because Discord doesn't want to work anymore. I mean, my computer crashes in mysterious ways, man. Try to explain that to me, man. Obviously, we're not done with the YouTube Rewind explained videos. There's at least the 4th part, because I love the number 4 so much. And it might still not be the end, but we'll see. Stay tuned. See you next time.